Well, I've been joined by today's commentator. His name's Gary Capewell. Gary, you're a bit of an expert on Arabian races. Is that fair to say?
Some would probably argue that's not fair to say. I do all the Arabian meetings in the UK, all the single races that we have on thoroughbred cards. We had one at Kempton, we have quite a few here, one at Bath, and also I do the big day here as well, and the race that we had over in Ireland earlier on in the year. But I tend to commentate on all of them, yes.
And I mean, I guess today's probably the showpiece event of the year, really, isn't it?
Very much so. In terms of quality throughout the whole day, it's the best meeting that we have anywhere in the world. There are some really good races, just single races, that we have all over the world. Different organisations have them, but in terms of the whole day, in terms of quality, this is the best.
Okay. And I guess your work must be fairly cut out. Looking through the race card, there's a lot of difficult kind of names there. Is it quite a job?
The names aren't too bad. More so, it's the learning the fact that it's quite often that His Highness Sheikh Hamdan has quite a few in the same race. Sometimes 4 or 5, and it's learning the different caps, and there's quite a few of their owners that do exactly the same. So that's more so towards the sort of the trickier thing, because quite a lot of them come back year after year, so you get used to seeing them, you get familiar with the horses and the colours, but it's just those cap differences and things like that. The names aren't usually too bad. You've just about got the hang of them now, I think.
Those intricacies. Now, for someone who's not really into racing, how would you describe fairly quickly the differences between Arabian racing and thoroughbred racing?
Yeah, well, thoroughbreds tend to be sort of 15 hands plus. That's how hands is how we measure horses. It's 4 inches to a hand. But most of these, pretty much all of these, are between. There'll be a few that are a little bit shorter, maybe 1 or 2 that are a bit higher, but between 14 and 15 hands. Purebred Arabians. Probably some of the big things people don't know, that all modern thoroughbreds come from an Arabian stallion. So essentially, if it wasn't for these horses, we wouldn't have thoroughbred racing at the moment.
That's right. So I believe it's kind of 200-300 years ago there was 2 or 3 horses that came over, and
four Arabian stallions. The Bali Turk, Dali, and the
Godolphin one, isn't it?
Purebred Arabian. And basically, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to have thoroughbred racing.
So what happened back then? Just I'm curious now. There's only 4 horses going. What did they do? Just kind of race each other for a while?
I don't actually know the ins and outs of that, but obviously they came over the Arabian stallions and obviously produced with the mares that were over here at the time, and that we got the modern thoroughbred they have today. But regards to the Purebred Arabians, they're a little bit more sort of adaptable in regards to trips. Sometimes 1 week they can run over 6 furlongs, they can run over 2 miles. Obviously they are bred a little bit more for endurance.
Sure. And as for riding the horses, would a jockey find much of a difference between the two, or?
Yeah, sometimes they save a little bit for themselves. They take a little bit of knowing. Sometimes you have to kid them a little bit, make them feel like they're king, if you like.
And is Arabian racing a good kind of springboard for jockeys to kind of get into
Very much so. Trainers as well. We've seen numerous trainers come through the Purebred Arabian ranks and move forward in regards to jockeys as well. Tom Scudamore would be probably the best example, Jim Cullity. And there's quite a few amateurs, obviously, that remain as amateurs, but ride on thoroughbred cars. Simon Walker has ridden thousands of winners. Phil Collington, who's Sheikh Hamdan's an amateur rider. We've got trainers Jenny Candlish as well. She made her way through. There's plenty of others that have gone on to big success.
Okay, last question for you, because you've got to go soon. There's 8 races today that we're all looking forward to. Who's your nap for today before we go into the first race?
Well, with regards to the first race, 5-year-old maidens have a good record in the race. There's 2 5-year-old maidens in the race. One's called Siral Gree and the other one's called Aurak. I'd pick those 2, but tentatively, because it's wide open.
Okay, all the best. Have fun today, okay?
Cheers, thanks.